Hi everyone! So I am so excited to tell you guys that I have finally found a one loom tutorial for my Mickey Mouse charm. I also have one loom tutorials for my Minnie Mouse charm and a new charm which is my Winnie the Pooh charm. I will have one loom tutorial links for them in the description box below. Also, I'm having a giveaway right now because you guys helped me reach 10,000 subscribers and I am so excited. There's a link for that in the description box as well. This Mickey Mouse charm is my own original design. I can't wait to show you guys how to make it on one loom, and without further ado, let's get started. So today you will need any type of loom, your hook, an optional C-clip, as well as bands in the colors of red, black, and yellow. You will only need 2 yellow bands. All my supplies are from the Rainbow Loom web store. So first we are going to start by making one of Mickey's ears. This is only going to take a perimeter of 6 pins, so I'm just going to start near the top of my loom. And first we are going to start out with our single black bands, and we are going to line the perimeter of Mickey Mouse's ear. So I'm going to use single bands and make a hexagon sort of shape. And in this video, I'm going to go as slow as I can. I'm naturally a fast person, so I always try to go as fast as I can. So I am fighting myself right now. And continue the hexagon, like that. And by the way, to everyone or anyone out there that thinks I do go too fast in my videos, feel free to use the pause button at any time in this video. So here is my finished hexagon. And now we are going to use double bands here, and we are going to line the inside of it. So use double bands, and we are going to go counterclockwise with our double bands like we did for the perimeter, except we use single bands on the perimeter. So continue taking double bands, and you're basically just going to make a pattern that's similar to like the starburst bracelet. Like that. So this is what you should have now. And now we are going to add on a cap band to this middle pin here. So take a single black band, and when I was experimenting with this design, 3 times around the pin was not enough, so we are going to go ahead and do 4. So wrap this single band around the middle pin 4 times. Like that. And we are now going to start the hooking process. If you are not to the point where you can start the hooking process yet, you can go ahead and pause the video here and then catch back up with me in the next clip. So I have my hook here, and we're first going to go inside the cap band and grab these bands that are going diagonally to the top right hand corner. So go inside the cap band here, grab the top double bands, like that. We will be hooking these bands that go outwards in a clockwise motion. So the next bands we are hooking will go to the bottom right, and the next bands are going to go downwards, and so on. So basically continue the hooking process for the rest of the 3 links here. So now your loom should look like this, with all the outwards bands outwards. And now we are going to hook the perimeter bands around the hexagon. We are going to start at this top pin and move in a clockwise motion like we did for the outwards bands. Be careful when you're hooking bands towards you because it's easy for them to slide off your hook. So your loom should now look like this, and we have finished the hooking process. Our loose end of bands is on this top pin here, so go ahead and push those bands down. And now you can remove all the other bands on all the pins, but make sure you leave the ones on here on. So you should have an ear that looks like this, and I'm now going to start half of Mickey's body in the middle of my loom. This part does not take that many pins at all, so we should be fine with this up here. We should still have plenty of room. So I'm here in the middle of my loom. It really doesn't matter where you start as long as you don't start near the middle. And I'm going to start near the top of my middle base plate just to give you a ballpark estimate. And also you might notice that I have ink on my hand. I have an upcoming video for you guys that shows you how to decorate your Rainbow Loom storage case and customize it with removable stickers and such. So this is just inks. So this part you are going to need black and red bands. So I'm first going to start out with my black bands, and I'm going to basically make a big hexagon, and it's basically like an enlarged version of the ear that we made. So we are going to have 2 bands per side of the hexagon. So you're going to use black bands for the first 3 here, and we are going to switch to red at this point. So half of the body is red. We are going to first make a trapezoid. Is this a trapezoid? We're going to make half of the hexagon first. And we started at the top and went to the bottom. Now we are going to take another black band and start doing a zigzag-like formation around the inside. So basically just follow the same steps that I do, since the zigzag is kind of confusing. Using black single bands still. Oh, I keep dropping bands. And now we are going to switch onto red bands. Continue the zigzag-like formation. And now at this point we are going to do something a little bit different for this one vertical band here. Since there is a lot of stress on this band during the hooking process, and also when we attach this to the other half of Mickey later, we are going to be using double red bands. So put double of those bands there and push the bands down. So now we are going to line the inside of this hexagon. So we're going to use black bands first, and another black band, and 1 red band now. So we have lined the inside of this half. And now we are going to do the inside of this part right here, which is basically half of what we did with the ear. So you're going to take single black bands and do 2 going like that. And now you're going to take 1 red band. And since this next part right here has a lot of stress on the bands there, we are going to use double bands on this pin. Like that. So now we are going to add a cap band to this middle pin. You can choose to do red or black, but I will be doing black. So you're going to go to this middle pin here and wrap this cap band around the middle pin 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like that. Now we are going to go ahead and transfer the ear to this. This is one of the hardest parts in this Mickey Mouse, so be very patient during this process. So I'm here at the top of my loom, going to use my hook to grab onto this Mickey ear here. Now I'm going to scoot down to my loom here. This part is kind of tricky, so try and stay with me here. So we have all these bands on our hook, and these bands are going to be transferred to this pin right here. So I like to kind of stretch it out and stick my finger through all the loops. This is quite difficult, but I have really tiny bony fingers, so I can manage to do so. But whatever technique suits you best. And then you're going to transfer it onto this pin here. Like that. Now, I have made Mickey before with just these bands attached to that pin, and it did not look very good because the ears were very floppy and saggy. So we are going to see the loops here. And we have loops, you can tell where the outwards loops were going on the ear. You're going to stick your hook into that. And it's okay if you don't get all of them or you get too many, it doesn't really matter as long as there's something for it to hold on to. You're going to grab these and pull them on your hook and put them on the next pin over. I just grabbed random bands, so it doesn't really matter if you grab the exact ones you're supposed to grab. And it should look like this. So you have one ear split between these two pins. So now we can start the hooking process. So we are going to start inside this cap band here and hook these double red bands that go down. So go inside the cap band. And one of my bands fell off, but that's okay. And if any of your bands fall off, just pick them back up on your hook and place them back onto the pin. Now we're going to hook the next red band and the black bands here, and then upwards. I tend to go really fast during the hooking process just because I hook pretty fast, so feel free to use the pause button anytime during this part, but I will try to go as slow as possible. And so now at this point we're going to hook these inside perimeter bands. So I am going to go ahead and go inside this bottom pin, grab the red band, single red band, and hook that a ways. And now we're going to hook this black band that goes vertically, and the next black band that goes to the top right corner, like that. Now we are going to start hooking these the big zigzag part. So we're going to start on this bottom band here, and don't skip ahead during this part because we do have to add yellow bands onto one of the bands during this part. So you're going to go inside here and kind of curve your hook around and then grab these double bands. That part's pretty hard. And hook them downwards. And my bands fell off, but that's okay. Now we are going to hook this diagonal band. And now's the point when you're going to need one of your yellow bands. So you're going to take a single yellow band and wrap it around your hook 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, like that. Now you're going to go inside this pin and we're going to pick up this band here. Act like this yellow band isn't even on your hook. So go inside, kind of curve around, pick up this band, but don't put it on the pin quite yet. So I have this band on my hook, and we're going to, I'll turn my loom so the white background's easier to see. So we are going to transfer this yellow band onto this red band. So basically you want to pull this yellow band and slide it over your hook and onto the red band. This part can be quite tricky, so it's okay if you don't get it on your first try. Like that. So now I have this yellow band looped on my vertical red band. Like that. If this part is too difficult for you or you can't get it, the yellow bands aren't actually necessary, but they do enhance this project to make it look more like Mickey Mouse. So anyways, now you have this band on your hook, and you are going to hook the red band as if you never added the yellow band on, and it goes to this pin that is directly below this pin. Now you're going to complete the hooking process as normal. If you are a fast loomer and you hook pretty fast, you can go ahead and advance through this zigzag segment here. So continue hooking the zigzag portion of this. Be careful when you put the bands on pins that have the ears on them, because there are like 10 bands on those pins, so it gets quite difficult, and I apologize for getting my loom cut off on the camera. But you can trust I did do the hooking process correctly. And continue hooking here, like that. Now we are going to go back down to the bottom of our loom and do the final big perimeter bands around the perimeter here. So I'm going to start at the bottom, grab the bottom red band, and hook it to the top left. And do the same thing throughout the rest of the perimeter of this half of Mickey Mouse. Be careful on the pins that you have the ears on, because it's very easy to grab bands that you're not supposed to be grabbing. like that. So your loom should now look like this. This is my completed half of Mickey Mouse. Now please remember that our loose end of bands is on this top pin here, so you can remove everything from your loom except for the bands on this top pin here. So now we literally have half of Mickey Mouse, and we are going to go ahead and make the right half of him, and then we can attach the two together. So I have my half of Mickey hanging from this pin here, and I'm going to go ahead and start making the ear on this pin right here, or these pins here. So I have my black bands, and I'm going to start by lining the perimeter of this ear in a small hexagon. And we are basically going to be doing the same thing as we did on the other ear. Like that. And I am going a little bit faster during this part. I apologize, I didn't even notice. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and start using double bands and do the bands that go outwards. Like that. If you are not to this point yet, feel free to pause the video right here. And now we are going to put a cap band onto this middle pin. So you're going to wrap it around 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like that. And now we can start the hooking. So I have my hook here, and I'm going to go inside the cap band. And we are first going to hook the double bands that go to the top right corner. And the first bands are always hardest to hook. And I grabbed one of them. Now grabbing the second one. And now we are going to hook the double bands that go to the bottom right hand corner. Hooking one at a time again for me apparently. And now the bands that go downwards. Like that. Now we are going to start and do the perimeter bands around the ear. So start at the top pin. And move in a counterclockwise motion. And move in a clockwise motion, sorry. Like that. So I'm now finished with this Mickey Mouse ear, and I'm going to remove it off of my loom. Please remember that the bands that hold the loose end are hanging from this top pin here, so remove everything else except for what's on this pin. So you should now have something like this, and on camera mine kind of just looks like a black blob, but we are going to go ahead and start with the right half of Mickey. So my Mickey ear is hanging from this pin, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing the right half of Mickey on this pin here. So I'm grabbing my first black band, and we are basically going to do almost the same exact thing that we did on the other half of Mickey, except opposite, and we are going to remove a couple bands that we did. So I'm now starting with red. Oh. Like that. Now we are going to go ahead and start on the zigzag bands, but we are not going to go vertically like we did last time. We are going to skip that band and go diagonally. So basically all the bands that are on the farthest left side of our loom that go vertically, we are going to skip those bands. Now we are going to switch to red bands. And we are going to skip this red band that goes vertically here. Now we are going to start on doing the inner perimeter bands. So I'm going to take a single black band, another black band, and go vertically here. And now a single red band and go diagonally like that. Now we are going to start on doing the inner bands that go diagonally like a starburst pattern, except we are going to skip this first one here. Take a black band and go diagonally, and we are going to take a red band and put it going diagonally and skip this vertical band going here. We are not going to put a cap band because the two halves of Mickey are going to share a cap band. So at this point we are now going to transfer the ear to these two pins here. So here I have my hook, and I'm just going to stick it inside this pin and grab all the bands for the ear. Now what we're going to do is transfer these bands on our hook to this pin right here. So once again, I'm just going to kind of stretch it out and stick my finger inside all the bands. You can do whatever technique suits you best for transferring bands onto a pin. Like that. Now I am going to kind of stretch it out and slide it onto this pin right here. Like that. So I now have my ear on this very top right pin. Once again, we need to connect some bands onto this pin. So grab some random bands in the loop to the left and place it on this pin. This way the ears won't be floppy. Now is one of the hardest parts. We have to transfer the half of Mickey onto this half of Mickey. So we only have one loose end on this half, which is these top bands here. So I'm going to stick my hook inside this pin, grab the bands. These bands are going to go on this very top pin here. But before you place them on, if you would like to do one small easy step, then I'm going to show you how to do that. So kind of just put your hook down for a second. You're going to take one black band, lift up this very top band here, like that. Just take it off the pin, hold on to it, place a black band going vertically, and replace this band on, like that. That is optional just to make things a little bit easier later on, but you don't have to do it if you are unable to do that. So now we are going to transfer this half of Mickey onto this pin right here. So I have my half of Mickey Mouse, and I'm going to kind of give it a little tug and stick my fingers inside all these bands here. Now I'm going to transfer it onto this very top pin here, like that. Now comes the hardest part, which is attaching this edge onto this edge of our loom here. First, you want to find the cap band here. My cap band, you should see a small ring that is made of bands. Mine is right smack dab in the middle on this side. And stick your hook inside of that, like this. And now you're going to pull on it and transfer it to this pin where it has this V shape of one black and one red. Pull it down and you're going to attach it to that pin. Like that. Now we're going to scoot up here to this pin. We have to attach some bands onto this pin. Kind of stretch your Mickey Mouse out, and you want to just grab some random bands and attach it to this pin. For very advanced loomers, you are going to find the bands that intersect together into these two outgoing bands here, which is this intersection. But if you are unable to find the intersection, just grab a random clump of bands and stick it onto this pin here. But for me, I can find the bands that I need to attach, which are here. So once again, if you can't find the correct bands, just put random bands on, because in the end it probably won't really matter. And attach it onto the pin. So it's now attached. Now you're going to scoot down to the bottom of your loom. you're first going to find the double bands that we put going downwards or vertically here. I can see mine right here. As you can see, they are kind of easy to spot because they are double bands. You're going to stick your hook inside the whole length of double bands throughout both sides, and you're going to pull it downwards and attach it to this pin here, which can be a little bit hard because there is a lot of tension in the bands, but it won't break. So attach it to those here. And now we have to attach random bands onto this pin here as well. Now if you can find, these bands are to attach are easier. So if you just kind of stretch this half of Mickey out, you should find a big loop of the double bands that we used, and that is the correct loop to place onto this pin. So find a large loop with double bands like that, and I placed it on there. And so now I have attached all of the needed edges onto my loom, and I can finally start the hooking process. So I'm going to start where my cap band is in the middle here, and I'm going to do first the red band that goes down ways here, and next the black band, like that. Next we are going to do the bands that line the inner perimeter. So I'm going to start at the bottom pin here, grab the top band, now I'm going to start on the inner zigzag here. So I'm going to start onto this pin, grab this bottom band. Next we have to add another yellow button, so don't skip ahead yet. This vertical band is where we will be attaching it to. So you're going to take a single yellow band, oh, lost my hook, and wrap it around your hook 4 times, like so. And now we are going to act like this yellow band isn't even there. Stick your hook inside the pin that you would stick it inside of to hook this vertical red band here. Now you're going to slide these yellow loops onto this red band that is on our hook. So kind of grab it, and it's easy if you have long fingernails for this, and slide it on. So that way your yellow band is now on this red band that's on your hook. Now you're going to act as if we never slid it on and just hook it normally onto the pin that it would go on. And now you can, if you are a fast loomer, again, you can speed ahead and do the rest of the zigzags now. So I did go kind of fast during the rest of the zigzags, so if you were still hooking them, then you probably want to pause the video here. Otherwise, we're going to start on these perimeter bands that go around the perimeter of Mickey Mouse. Start at the bottom of your loom. And be careful on the pins where the ears are at. Now we just have this one last vertical band here. If you did not put this on earlier when during the middle of the video, then you just go ahead, stick your hook inside all of the bands and hook a single chain through this, or apply a C-clip or attach a C-clip to all these bands. But if you did add a single band here, you're just going to hook it vertically. And basically you would get the same result if you did not have this band and you just stuck your hook inside, grabbed a single band and hooked it. But this is just for convenience purposes. At this time you can either choose to attach a C-clip, or you can grab the bottom band here, pull it up and over your pin, and release to tie a little knot there. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and use my C-clip just to be safe and make sure that this charm does not fall apart after all of my hard work. So I'm just going to slide that on here. And at this time, I'm just going to remove this single chain here And then we can now remove everything else on our loom. And we are almost done. Just basically do a couple of adjustments. So kind of turn the C-clip and stretch out places where you want to be enhanced and places that you want to be seen a little bit less. I'm just going to kind of push the buttons in so they don't protrude out as much, and kind of pull the rings together so they don't stick out everywhere, like this. And we are done. Thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. Once again, it is my own original design. I'm sorry it took so long for me to get this on one loom, but I did finally get it, and I think it looks exactly the same, if not better, than my 2 loom tutorials charm. So if you do have 2 looms, I also have a tutorial for 2 looms on this design as well, but the part of adding buttons on is a lot more difficult. So I have a big announcement. I would like to thank you guys so much for 10K subscribers. I do have a contest going on that I uploaded a video on my channel on Tuesday stating a giveaway, and I have a small giveaway with 2 rainbow loom kits and some bands, including some limited edition packs of bands. And yeah, don't forget to go check that video out. I'll have it linked in the description box below. Also, I have a surprise video coming up February 14th. It is a big tutorial, probably the biggest tutorial I have ever done, and I will probably ever do. I have gotten a couple of requests for this, and I kind of switched it around, and yeah, you'll understand as soon as you see it. Also, I am now posting on Tuesdays and Fridays. I will be posting tutorials 2 days a week now because I started doubling up on Fridays for posting tutorials, and I decided that I should just space them out so that way you guys won't have to wait as long for a new tutorial of mine to come out. And also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you made this charm successfully and if you like this video. And also, don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Also, follow me on Instagram and Pinterest. My username is tutorials by A for both. And I am finally done talking, and I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to check out my charm tutorials for Minnie Mouse and Winnie the Pooh, both on one loom. Tutorial links are in the description box below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!